Hello and welcome to this new video about all maps or all spots for all floors in BP. So before the video begins, I gotta say some things. Firstly, every montage of this video was recorded by Danes and edited by me, so I'm how to. This is only part 1. Part 2 will come out as soon as possible. And if you're searching for a specific map, just go to the description. There will be a pinned comment with all the timecodes for all the maps, even with the speeds, in the description. Okay, that's all I gotta say. See ya and have fun. Oh yeah, and also if you've never ever even tried to play BP, you should first know about some basics. That's why I will link a video of Zachary here. He really nicely brought up the basics of BP in one single video with all the information you need as a starter. And yeah, I'm just gonna link that here and also in the description. So yeah, you should first look at that if you are new to BP.
Alright, hello there, it's Danes, and only Danes, this time, and I will showcase all different BlockParty floors, probability-wise and compatibility-wise. I will go through all floors except for 4 different types, which is going to be the spawn floor, the 2 miscellaneous floors, particularly on the server, and the easy version of chains, since it's all gonna already be showcased in the original version. So we're actually gonna start off with this exact floor, which is A1, also known as pipes, which is the name of the floor. This is speed 11 compatible. It's decently easy on speed 11, so I'm gonna showcase it rather quickly. Now, where you want to stand is exactly on top of the corner of the cube that has 2 colors being identical. So in this case, blue. Stand on top of one of those corners. Doesn't matter which, the outcome is the same. As you can see, you have a nearby location to all available colors with relative ease. If we go on to speed 12, you have to exclude one single color, and you're going to have to choose if you're going to ignore the corner or the middle. I usually go for the middle because I like standing in the middle as soon as the floor is over, and I like standing slightly off the middle of this pipe, and I remember black, or basically the middle color, so in this case light grey. So for each floor I will go through at first the positioning, then what colors are excluded, and then I will tell you what possibly my own tips and tricks for the specific location. Anyways, you can do this with the middle as much as the corner if you want to. If I stand slightly off the middle, I will only have to remember the middle color, so pink. Another. As you can see, reaching this one is impossible, so that's why I always remember the middle, which means I will always turn right if the middle color does not appear. Going to A2, we have the music floor. But this one is also speed 11 compatible, which is quite easy. Here you want to go for the stripes and try to stand in the middle in F5 mode and you're going to be fine. Just remember that there is this note color, which is not a section of the stripes. So bear in mind to remember them as well. If you go on to speed 12, it's going to be slightly more difficult. On speed 12, do not go for the stripes. Go for the middle. There are, in my experience, there are two locations which I enjoy the most. I'm gonna go through the first one. If you're stuck in this corner and this floor appears, you go right to here. And be on in first person. It helps you a lot. Over here I remember only two colors. I remember the note and the inner stripe. There's only one color you cannot reach, which is this stripe color, since it's not a member in the pixel scattered area in the middle. However, if you stand here, you do not need to use your sprint key whatsoever, which can be a fun tip. Try to not use your sprint key at all when standing here, and you should be fine. Going to the next location, we have the opposite corner, opposite side, whatever you want to call it. If you're stuck in this corner, this floor appears, stand on the note color. And remember the note color and the inner frame. All colors should be relatively nearby. However, here you do need to sprint to access all colors, which means this is slightly harder to successfully execute. But still as equally possible as the previous spot. Now going to A3, this is the first floor which is speed 10 compatible as a minimum. Over here only one single corner is favored, which it happens to be this one. As many call it the southeast corner. On speed 10, you always, no matter the speed actually, you want to remember this particular color, this two stripe color. You want to stand right behind it. And remember two specific colors, if you wish. That is up to you, but I remember orange and cyan in this scenario. I always remember these two locations. Like blue, magenta. You can reach this position from pretty far away, unless you are in the exact opposite corner, in which case it is completely impossible, and you will have to stand somewhere here to access all colors with difficulty. If we go to speed 11, you will have to exclude one single color, and it happens to be this one. This color will no longer be accessible. What you want to do is locate yourself to this small stripe color and go a little to the left. As a tip, I remember two specific color locations. This one and this one. They are quite far away. All others are nearby, so blue, magenta. No. They will all be located over here with this long section. But that's very clearly visible. Lime, light gray. No. Then I know it's going to be over here. If we go on to speed 12, you will have to exclude a few more colors than that. You have to exclude actually 3 more. All these 3 are going to be excluded, and only this section is available. I stand here and I remember purple, which is the only color behind me. This one. Light gray, I will remember. If not, the colors would be in front of me. And if the selected color isn't in front of me, I know it's unavailable. So orange. So you might ask yourself, what is the best position if you are located somewhere completely else of the map? Well, truth be told, be almost in the exact same position corner-wise, and you should be fine. Same here, be on the kind of the same length from the previous corner, and you should be able to reach quite a lot of colors. Exactly identical with this corner as well. But always try to remember this small stripe. Always guide yourself to it. Speed 10, 11, and 12. Going into A4, this is speed 11 compatible. What you understand is, well, it's a pretty well-known floor, so I'm going to go through it quite quickly. You stand right next to this more or less a lone square and stripe, and try to remember the outer frame color, pink. And perhaps another color such as this one, blue, which is located more in the middle. You can also choose to go for purple over here or over here. That's completely up to you. Both locations work. I usually go for the middle. This can be done on the opposite side as well, since it is mirrored. If we go to speed 12, you can reach every single color except for the frame. That's why it's so smooth, because the frame color is a color nobody goes for speed 12. So you're pretty much granted a survival in this case, unless it's the frame. What you understand here is, I recommend being a first person again, and stand this time the opposite side of the square, this like rare square color, and I often think of the middle color, in this case light gray, since this is basically the only color on the opposite direction. All others are on the other side, or close to me. Okay? Alright. Just remember, it works being faced this direction too. Doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that you should stay to the right of the square and stripe. And be in first person, because it helps a lot. Okay? So, going to A5, we have this the circle. The big circles, which is speed 10 compatible. Trust me, I have tried. It does not work on speed 11. So do not attempt all colors on speed 11 whatever you do, because you will not succeed. The only thing that will happen is that you will not be able to reach either the middle nor the corner. Only stand in the middle when the speed 10, because that's when it works. Not later, however. Speed 11, you have to exclude either the middle or the corner. That's up to you. I usually go for the middle, so I tend to go a little to the right. That's how easy and that's how simple it is. And I remember light grey brown, so they're the most distant colors. You can also go a little to the left and you'll reach the corner instead, but not the middle. This works of course everywhere, and completely up to you what you want to choose. But sometimes it is better to follow the stream and see what most people pick. And I believe in this case most people do pick the middle. If you go to speed 12, this is rather difficult, but you can reach 4 colors. Same procedure, you can choose exactly which 4 colors you want, because all locations are possible. I usually go for the middle again, so I choose middle, these two, and this stripe. So, yep. What you want to do here is go actually in third person. That's what I do. I go slightly on top of that corner of that specific color, and I remember the middle and the most distant stripe, most distant reachable stripe. So red and grey. white, light gray. As you see, I usually kind of just give up if the color isn't available, because there is no need to jump whatsoever. Seems like I'm not getting the colors I want, because I would like to showcase that it does indeed work. Green, gray. So as you can see, it is completely possible. So going on to A6, A7, since I'm going to ignore this one, it only appears as spawn, so no need to practice it. So here having A7, this is our first speed 12 compatible floor, also called lasers. Now, where you want to stand here is at the location where 4 colors can be accessed by just standing on one specific place, which you have right here, 4 different colors. This is located, if you realize this small pattern of a specific color, just go slightly downwards it and you'll find it. Right here. And remember the 2 remaining colors. And those 2 are here and here, white and green. Same procedure as the music. Do not touch your sprint button, because you don't need to. And you can do it on the opposite side too. It's 2 different colors. You have to remember. This works on every single side. So going to the first B section, we have B1. Now this is our first minimum of speed 9 compatibility. Here you have to remember the middle color and the corner color by standing roughly in this position. It's easy to remember. It is the 2 outer middle colors. You stand right between them and you remember the middle and the corners are brown and orange. Easy, right? Perfect. The reason you want to stand on this exact side is because there is one color location, this one, magenta, which is not located on the other side whatsoever. It's only existent on this particular side, which makes it non-compatible speed 9 on this side. Going to speed 10, you have to exclude one color, you have to exclude the middle. You're going to have to focus on every single color. Instead, you want to stand in between 2 color locations, which is the corner and this most inner middle stripe. And that location is roughly here. So remember white and purple. Alright? White, grey. So keep in mind you always want to be located on the side. If you happen to be placed on the corner over here when this floor appears, do not try to run to the other side on speed 10 and above. Just stay. Since there are so many colors on this floor, the odds of you getting in this particular color location is extremely low. So take your chance and remain here. And remember the inner stripe and the corner. Speed 11 is exactly identical. It's just that you have lesser time to reach them all. Exact same location, exact same colors, locations you should remember. Yellow, gray. White, purple. It's no more difficult than that. Speed 12, however, is a lot more difficult. A lot more difficult. Speed 12, I'd say this is one of the most difficult Speed 12 levels, since you have to reach so many colors and there's so many options that you have a really easy risk of forgetting where all colors are. The colors you need to exclude are 3 colors. This one, the middle, and the corner. All those 3 are not reachable. I usually stand over here and I try to remember most colors. However, it's extremely difficult and it depends on me which colors I want to remember. But from a selection, I usually want to remember this one, this one, this one, or this one. Since there are 4 colors to be remembered, I don't want to remember that many, so I try to stick with a little less. However, this location is extremely difficult due to the large quantity of colors. So if you want, you can exclude one if you wish. As you can see, I forgot what sign was. And you can always choose excluding this color, for instance. Or you might want to exclude this one. Or this one. It's up to you. Or you do like me and try to go for all possible colors. The same goes for speed 12 on this corner. You can reach exactly the same amount of colors except for that one single stripe. Going to B2, we have this one, which is our second speed 12 compatible floor. You can choose to be over here and reach 4 colors, and just remember 3 others. So you can stand over here, do the exact same thing. I usually don't stand over here. I actually want to jump to the color. I stand in between. So over here, I can easily detect all colors and I do not have the risk of jumping off one. However, this truly depends on you if you are a very jumpy person. Like if you feel like I'm jumping on every single speed 12, stand over here. If you feel like, no, I'm not jumping as much on speed 12, pick one of these locations where you can reach 4 colors but just standing. Okay? It's no more difficult than that. And on this floor, I do this on many, I don't see the color until it appears in my hotbar. So going to B3, we have our third speed 12 compatible floor. This is very difficult as well, but you can do it. I want to go third person on this, however, it is very scattered, and it is an exception of what I usually do. However, since the colors are so distant from each other, I feel like I have to be in third. I remember 2 specific colors. Oh dear. Shit. I remember 2 specific colors, which is, in this scenario, going to be the middle and one miscellaneous color. I remember green and cyan. So blue, white. As you can see, it is possible. Light blue, pink. And you need to learn the art of actually being able to jump backwards, which can be extremely difficult. Since you want to jump forward, that's what your reflexes are mostly telling you. If you think this is too difficult, you can choose to be located somewhere else. You can choose to exclude one. You can choose to exclude, for instance, the middle color and go over here. And now you can suddenly be in first person. You can be over here. Or you can be located over here and reach all colors except for one as well. the color you'll be missing is this one, which is in this scenario gray. So yeah, reaching all colors is extremely difficult, so unless you're extremely good, I would suggest not performing this in a game, unless you practiced a lot. Not even I do this very often, because I know I have a large risk of failing this. As you can see, I performed really good in the beginning, now I'm starting to deteriorate. Help! Stop being bad, please. There we go. Good days. I retributed myself somewhat. No, never mind. No, okay, let's just go on to the next floor before I totally embarrass myself. Stepping on to B4, we have our second speed 9 minimum. Here you want to stand roughly in the exact middle and make sure you reach this color, which is in this case blue. The location you want to be at, as you can see, you have this kind of cross pattern. You want to stand in the middle of it, and then remember two colors. I remember the color I mentioned, location I mentioned, and this one, the blue-green. If it's not one of those colors, I know everyone else is to the southeast of me, you can basically say. Okay? So orange, magenta. Cyan, light blue. And as you can see, it's possible. Going to speed 10, that color is no longer available. Trust me, I have tried, and it's not working. Over here, you want to stand roughly in the middle amidst all other colors, which is roughly over here. You can remember this like a square, I suppose. You can remember this square, stand in that one, and you are roughly in the middle. Speed 10 and 11 are identical. You reach the exact same amount of colors once again. As you can see if I do it. And most colors are still decently nearby, so you don't need to sprint much at all. Unless a color such as this one appears. Going to speed 12, we need to remove one more color. I have experimented with being located over here, and I have found out that it is possible to reach all colors except for two. However, since this location is still under experiment and very difficult, I would probably not recommend you going for this. But I'm going to teach you it anyways. If you stand roughly exactly over here, and remember two colors, which is white and green, those two locations, you can reach all colors except for two. But as I mentioned, extremely difficult and extremely dangerous. However, if you feel like this is a possible outcome, do it. There's no one stopping you. If you want to have it slightly easier for you, you can remove this color and go for first person. If you stand here, you have all colors in your proximity. You barely need to sprint to jump to the color. Okay. Let's not have that happen again. Thanks. B5 is a speed 11 compatible floor. It may be slightly difficult reaching all colors, however, as you can see. You have very little extra time to reach the two most distant colors, which is the middle and the corner. Stand roughly located in the middle of those, and remember them. Blue and white. Or green and magenta. Well, I have showcased the corner works. So if you look at here, the middle is going to be the same distance, as you can see. If you go into speed 12, you can go for the corner plus 5 other colors right here. If you locate it right here, beside those two locations, you can reach the corner. Green. Gray. Anyways, it is a risky maneuver since literally like nobody else will actually go for the color. So it depends on you if you think it's worth it, especially if you know you're gonna jump for everyone else. Is it really worth risking going for an extra color and risking your life failing on several others? So up to you. The two colors you cannot reach is the middle and this triangle next to the middle. Okay? The game hates me. This is the evidence. So yeah, if you want to go for an easy method, just go right between the four colors and remember the one that's like one block off. You should be fine. Going to B6, we have another speed 12, our fourth speed 12 compatible floor. Here I see a lot of people standing like all over the place, but I find this spot the most effective. Basically, you want to keep in mind of this like color, stand above it, in the middle, between all the other stripes, and you should be fine. I always remember the two most distant colors, brown and blue in this scenario. As you can see, it's quite a stretch, but definitely possible. Several people are also directed the opposite way. This is completely up to you, and you can do whatever. Being faced this direction, however, may decrease your risk of jumping off this color. I usually stand directly this way anyways. Going on to B7, we have another speed 12 compatible floor. It's just that I hate this one, but that's a personal opinion. If you literally stand on the dot, you can reach all the colors with difficulty. However, it is fully possible. Yeah, you have to remember a lot of different colors and and this dot as well, so you don't jump off it. It's really difficult to say which colors to remember because I don't really know myself. I don't go for this regularly. I feel like this is too much of a risk since I feel like I have a higher risk failing many other jumps than going for a few less amount of colors. If you want to exclude color, go in first person. I usually stand here, directed facing the dot, and I remember this color and this color. The one I can't reach will be this one. If you're standing over here, remember, keep in mind, only one color you are unavailable to, so the risk of you getting that color is very low since there's so many other colors as well. You can actually reach it, but it does require finesse. So moving on to the C section, where we have C1. This is speed 11 compatible and very corner favored, which means if you are located in the incorrect corner when this appears on speed 11, you can have some trouble. If you are in time, stand in this particular corner, or the corner, but center of these four colors. Remember this color, like the top corner, and this middle. So white and blue, so they're the most distant. Blue, brown. If you're running, you can easily remember them as you run, and you will also be fine. Going on to speed 12, you can reach 7 colors. You can reach it on 2 different spots with slightly different colors. If you just stay here, you will not be able to reach that corner color, but this one instead, if you're standing located there. This scenario, I would have survived, but the others would have died. This majorly depends on where you're standing when the floor appears. So what you want to do is, I often remember the frame color, which is red. If it's not, I'm either going to have to jump a big leap or just stay. Gray. Okay. Gray again. As you can see, I did not have to jump this time. If you feel like this is too difficult, you can go for only 6 colors and ignore the frame and stand over here. And here you can be in first person instead, which makes it a lot easier for you. This works exactly the same over here. Going to C2, we have our next speed 12 compatible floor. One of the most difficult speed 12 compatible floors. If you stand on this exact cube, I believe this is kind of sort of a Rubik's cube, if you look at it this way. As you can see, if you go further up, you will notice that I have a lot of templates, but you also have the cube. This is a cube map. If you're standing on this color, you can reach every single other as well. However, it is extremely difficult, and if you feel like you're bad with speed 12, do not attempt this one. I usually remember this color and this sometimes. So I would always remember cyan and sometimes blue and green. Yeah, as I said, it's difficult. Don't expect yourself to survive every single time you perform it. So green. Oh. Yeah, I'm really bad at this location actually. I usually don't go for all the colors actually, since it's so difficult. I will showcase the other location, which is the color up above. Over here, you have a slightly easier location to all colors, except for this one. The green color in this case is not possible. Okay? And that's the only downside of this location. It's just that you have the availability to reach a lot more colors. Even this is difficult for many, so keep that in mind. Which makes this location just insane. Okay? So moving on to C3, we have this floor, which is speed 11 compatible. So if you remember this like little figure, kind of mask, you want to stand right here on top of this color, this corner, this like square color, corner this, and remember two colors, orange and magenta, being these two locations. So I remember magenta and light gray. Cyan lime. As you can see, it's completely possible. If we move on to speed 12, we have to exclude one single color, which happens to be one of the colors we remembered. Furthermore, this one. This is not accessible. If you stand, kind of easy to remember, between four different colors here. You're going to go F5, since we're going to reach a lot. And I remember this color and this color. It's really difficult to reach all the colors and can be a mess if you remember too many as well. So be cautious. Okay? Be cautious to not remember too many colors. That's one of my secret little tip. If you remember too many, you will confuse your brain and you'll forget where all the colors are. Okay? Whoops. And a lot of the colors require very big leaps, so be very cautious. Going on to C4, we have a minimum of speed 10. Over here, you have to go for a big stretch and go place yourself in between the middle and the corner color. Just to go in between this color and the middle. Go between those and you should be fine. And remember, there is one more color behind you. And that one is this. But as long as you're located in between here, you should be fine. Going on to speed 11, we have to exclude the corner color. Here, we go slightly close to the middle, but we face ourselves between the distance stripe and the middle again. I remember only the distance stripe, but that's completely up to you what you want to remember. But yeah, as you can see, all colors are relatively nearby, so this should not be too much of a difficulty reaching all colors. Going into speed 12, we have to exclude yet another. Ironically, the two colors you need to pay attention most on speed 10, this one and this one. Those are no longer available. you stand right here, you can actually reach all other colors. Just remember, this shape just be on top of that thingamajig in the end. I don't know how to explain it. It's then on top of this thingamajig. And I remember two colors a little more than others. I remember this thick stripe and this thing. As you can see, it is possible to reach all colors, even the middle, but I don't think I will be able to showcase it. Unless I will. And I showed you all distant colors can be reached. If you feel like this is too difficult, just ignore this color and send them here. Makes it slightly easier. So going to C5, we have this one, which is speed 11 compatible. What you want to stand is right south of this color, and you remember these two, this one and this one, because those are the most distant. All other colors are in your close vicinity, so you would not have to run almost at all if not one of these two colors appear. Grey, pink. As you can see, really close. Red, brown. Pink, yellow. I did have a quick showcase in the beginning, and as you can see, it is possible on speed 11. But it can be slightly difficult executing it, but it should be fine. I would recommend going for all the colors, because it's definitely worth it, and most people do. So don't try your luck and go instead for all colors as intended. Going into speed 12, we had to exclude two colors. Do not stand in the middle here. It can be really bad. Ignore these two and go over here instead. I am still in first person on this. And you should remember, at least I remember this color and this color, as they're the most distant, so yellow, lime. As you can see, it's possible. Green, green. Orange, yellow. If you feel like this is too difficult, then exclude that color as well and just focus over here. And you should be fine as well. As you can see. Going to C6, we have this one, which is actually speed 11 compatible. What you understand is slightly more specific, and you want to be close to this tall long stripe, and you want to remember, and you want to stand right here, because this is exactly the middle between the most distant colors, which is this one and these two squares. I always remember that in the middle is magenta. If it's not magenta, I know all the other colors will be located to the right of me, or these two, which I keep an eye on. So, magenta, magenta, magenta. As you can see, I realized it's not magenta and none of those two colors above me, which meant that I had to run to the right. red, or just stand still. This can be quite difficult, as many colors you have a long distance to run. So in a few cases, so if you feel like this is difficult, ignore this one and go only for these. Then you can be located slightly more right, and you're going to be fine. Excellent. So going to speed 12, I have found out that the middle is actually the best place you can be. Since you, at least since you want to be in the middle most of the time when the floor shifts, you want to try being exactly in the middle. You want to be located close to this long stripe. As you can see, you have like a small portion, a repeated portion throughout, as you can see. And you want to stand here. You can choose a little yourself where you want to stand exactly in this portion, but I usually stand over here. Oops. If you stand here, you can reach all colors except for two. The two colors you cannot reach are this square and this little section, the blue color. Those cannot be accessible. All other colors can. But make sure you have to be exactly where the long stripe is, otherwise you cannot reach that specific color. Hence the reason it's so important. Going on to C7, we have what I call the carousel, but it's actually named lottery. It's possible on speed 11. Okay? Now, what you want to do here is, well, I have two options. Most people stand over here and reach all the colors. The middle color will be accessed by the corner. However, there is also another location if you don't want to stand here. Then you can be located over here, and I remember, and this is where I stand. I remember the middle color and the arrows, so purple, white. Otherwise, all colors are decently close to me, and this is completely fine. You can choose which location you want, because in the end, you still reach all colors on the floor. Going into speed 12, you had to exclude two colors. You either stand in the middle, and the two colors excluded are the colors that are around the whole lottery thing, so the arrows and its background color. Now, another location which a lot of people are doing. The reason why most people take the corner, I don't know. But you can go for the arrows and the background color by standing here. You are excluding two lottery slides. And this is one of them. And that will be another one of them. You can choose, however, which other lottery slide you want to skip between these two. However, if this color or this arrow or the background color to the arrow appears, you have won against the person standing in the middle. And as you can see, I'm extremely unlucky, so I'm just going to proceed to the next floor, because this floor hates me, and I'm just going to skip it. So going to the D section, D1, we have this floor, which is speed 11 compatible. Now I have my own method of reaching all colors here. I stand in the middle, faced away from this particular color. I remember it really hard in my brain. If that color does not appear, I run straight forwards. So blue, 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 blue. No, then I run straight forwards. This is how I will manage to reach other colors in time. And as you can see, it's completely possible. If we go on to speed 12 after this one, now we have to exclude one of those two. You decide. Okay. And you stand right over here. Did you remember this color location? Stand slightly off it. And I remember the middle color, which is gray. Okay. Yep, that's my luck in a nutshell. Gray. And if it's not the middle color, I can basically just jump to the left. So yellow. Okay. I'm calm. Cyan. Pink. Black. Okay, no, no. 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 D2, please take me away. Thank you. Speed 12 compatible. And really simple. For the people who stand out in the edges and sides, do not be in the middle. Instead. Okay? This is better. I stand here. You can basically stand almost anywhere you want close to here. You decide yourself. Just be in first person and everything's gonna be fine. As shown. Going to D3, we have to choose speed 9. This is important to remember the two middle colors. And standing right to the left of this extra thick diagonal. So standing slightly to the left and remembering blue, pink. If it's not one of those two colors, you can be sure that the other ones are to the left of you or in front of you. So pink, like gray. Even if the color still appears here to the right of you, to the left of you, you might still want to go to the right, just in case. We go to the speed 10, we have to ignore one color. Most people exclude the center middle color. Here you have to stand slightly closer to the thick diagonal. And remember the outer middle and the inner corner. This one, orange, and that gray. In this case, brown, lime. Lime pink. Black, blue. Well, seems like I'm not getting any of the difficult colors right now, but you get the point. And it is completely possible. Going to speed 11, we will exclude both middle colors and go for every single other. You stand in the middle of this diagonal and this diagonal, which in this case is blue and orange. Pink, no, cyan. There we go. Pink, black. Blue, red. As you can see, it is possible. Going to speed 12, you can have a choice here. You either go for this location, the thick diagonal, and you can reach here to here. Okay, so those two are diagonals to remember. Pink, white. Oh, yep, that happened. Actually happened. White, magenta. As you can see, it's possible. Otherwise, alternatively, you can stand here. And you have to remember these two. Okay? So, it would be red and magenta. And this, I think this is almost exactly the same distance compared to the previous spot. So going on to D4, we have the chains. This is called the chains. Okay? At speed 9, you have to stand between the middle and the corner color, which is located right over here. Remember those two colors very thoroughly, okay? Purple, green, purple, green, purple, green. As you can see, it's purple. Okay, so black, light blue, black, light blue. I did not actually expect to get that color. Oh well. Light blue, purple. But completely possible. Completely, absolutely possible. So moving on to speed 10, we will remove the middle color. You can reach every single other color. Yes, you can. Standing on this exact dot, this one, I usually remember two specific colors, the corner and the L shape surrounding it, so lime and green in this case. I'm green. If it's not, the colors are in front of me. Light blue, orange. Yellow, magenta. As you can see, I did have extra time to even reach the dot. And this color as well. Moving on to speed 11. This is where it becomes identical to the easy change level. You send it right over here, and you can reach all colors except for three, the middle, the corner, and the L shape surrounding it. Oh, that was not speed 11, lol. It's a bit alike. So I remember two colors. First one is this one, the X, and the outer edge. So I would remember pink and black. No, pink and blue. Jesus Christ. Oh, that was embarrassing. Blue, green. And keep in mind, I'm not standing in the exact middle of this thing. I'm actually standing surrounding like in the middle of the three colors instead. Purple, pink. green, yellow. As you can see, it's an impossible color, so don't care. Purple, pink. Okay. Grey, lime. And as you can see, it's completely possible. Going to speed 12, you will also exclude the edge colors. So you're standing here, you can reach every color in your field of sight in first person. And this is relatively easy, okay? Not too much to think about. Going on to D5, we have the advanced circle. You can actually not reach every single color on speed 10. I have tried. You can on speed 9, and you basically stand in the middle, and you are going to be fine. Okay? Going to speed 10, you will have to exclude one color, either the center middle or the corner. I usually go for the middle, which means I exclude this inner corner. Okay? But you can decide that yourself. You can still reach the outer corner. But not the inner. Going to speed 11, you can reach every single color except for the middles. Okay? If you stand right over here on this ring, you can reach everything else. Stand on the thick ring and you will reach all of it. And if it's the middle color, you can basically give up because you will not be able to in any way reach it. Go to speed 12, you have to stand in the middle once again. You can only reach a maximum of 5 colors, unfortunately, which makes it kind of a low chance to actually get the desired colors, which I don't. Oh my god. This is actually infuriating. Give me... Thank you. Thank you. Easy. You can do first person, third person. Doesn't matter. Just go there. And you'll be fine. Going on to D6, we have the large squares. This is speed 10 compatible. You can stand over here, but it's very difficult to reach all the colors. So... Yep. It's very difficult to reach all the colors, but possible. Now, I choose this corner, which is very rare, but I choose this corner and remember 2 color locations, this one and this one, because they are behind me. I stay a little off the middle here, go a little to the left, and I remember lime brown. Okay, just a little off, red black. Red, yellow. Okay? So going out to speed 11, you can reach 9 colors. If you stand on the square diagonal up towards the thick one, so diagonal up, okay? Diagonal up, you have only new colors surrounding it, as you can see. There are 2 colors which are inaccessible. And this is why this map is so extremely dangerous when playing with randies. So they have a very unlikely chance, or yeah, the probability becomes somehow too high because it seems like they're always getting one of the two colors, like this one, and they always seem to make it. That's life, I suppose. Life is always unfair. Going to speed 12, you can only reach 6 colors. If you stand between, as you can see, you can reach you can actually reach 6 colors, as proven right here. You can do this in many different places. You can do it over here, you can do it over here, you can do it over here, you can do it here. There's so many locations, such a multi location floor on speed 12 that you are extremely dependent on luck. You have about a 50-50% chance of surviving on speed 12. Going on to D7 instead, we're gonna have this one. Speed 11, it can be two places. It can be here, in the middle, or in my recommendation, the corner. If I stand over here, I can relatively easily reach all colors. Stand exactly behind this corner, this like whole square. This floor is gonna be easy. Alright. If we move on to speed 12, you can choose to be in the middle or in the corner as well. I am still located in the corner, right here. The only color I cannot reach is the middle. I stand right here in between everything, okay? And I usually play on a third person. The colors are relatively close and they're easy to distinguish. If you want to stand in the middle, you can be located right over here. And the color you cannot reach is this one. Meaning that the two different positions have different colors. So choose wisely. Going on to the E section, the last section for part 1, we're going to E1, which is another speed 12 compatible floor. I usually like standing right here. And remember the face, which is light blue in this case. Now this floor is very simple and should not be too difficult to execute whatsoever. Moving on to E2, we have a more difficult floor. This is speed 10 compatible, but you need to reach. If you stand roughly over here, and remember the two middle colors, which is what I'm doing at least, you can reach everything. So yellow-gray. Always keep in mind of this particular color, so you don't never forget this one, okay? But all other colors are possible. As you can see, it definitely is. Going to speed 11, we have to exclude one color, which is this one. If you stand right on top of this diagonal, right on top over here, it does work. Two colors that are good to remember are this one and this one, so grey and yellow. It's always what I do. Gray, blue. Blue, orange. If not, the colors are very close to me. So orange, purple. Pink, light blue. And as you can see, it is possible. It is an equal distance to the other color. So it does work. If we go to speed 12, we had to remove a little more amount of colors. 4 actually. The two middle, this one, and this one. This one. Instead of here, you can reach all other, however. I tend to remember this specific color. So light gray. Unreachable, so doesn't matter. Orange. Still unreachable. Same. Okay, pink. Now that was reachable. I just expected it to be the same color again. Gray. And lime. Yeah, so people are saying I'm lucky. This is the proof I'm not. There we go. And light blue, and there we have it. This is probably the most distant color you have out of all these. So if you can reach this one, you can reach everything else. Okay? Let's go to E3. I'm gonna have to do it in a quickie. There we go. Go to E3, we have this one, which is speed 10 compatible. Stand about in between the middle color, which is this one, and the corner, which is roughly over here. It can also be good to remember those particular colors. So pink, brown. Not too difficult whatsoever. Should be completely possible with no problems whatsoever. Speed 11, you have to exclude one of the two. The most preferable in this case is actually to ignore the middle and go for the corner instead. The most distant color closer to the middle now is this one, pink. All other colors, except for that one and the corner, are still nearby. Of course it had to be the middle. Yep. Going to speed 12, you have to ignore a little more, like you have to ignore the middle and this extra thingamajig, this magenta, and the corner. Where you want to stand is right here, right next to this dot. I go in first person here, and I remember the second dot, which is green. So white. Just keep in mind to keep track on all different colors. So as you can see, it can be difficult if you panic, as I did there. So be careful to not panic on this floor, otherwise you will most likely fall. But I think I've already shown you that this is completely and fully possible. And once again, try not to panic. Going into E4, we have the mathematics. This is speed 11 compatible and really easy on speed 11 as well. You basically almost have to stand exactly in the middle, stand on this exact block actually. There, and there you have it. All colors are just equally close to you. And it doesn't really need any further explanation. The speed 12, the only color which you can exclude is the multiplication mark. The rest are actually possible. Standing on the corner here, or the middle, you can reach the two sides. Just remember them thoroughly. So cyan gray. As you can see, it is possible. So moving on to E5, we have the third squarish floor, which is speed 11 compatible. And here you can only, it's quite symmetrical, but not color-wise. And that's why this corner, the northeast corner as we call it, is the only truly accessible corner on speed 11. If you stand about right over here, you can reach all colors. I usually remember the color behind me, light gray in this case. All other colors are in front of me, so it's just to scavenge and find it. So black, brown. The colors you need to watch out for: this one, and that one. They are slightly have a slightly further distance, per se. And that's why you could always try keep an extra eye on them, just in case. Going up to speed 12, you can still stand almost exactly the same place, just slightly off. I stand over here, and I can reach now, how many colors is it? Is it 8 or 7? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can also reach this one. If you're standing right over here, you can. Just remember, so I remember blue. Yep, I'm fine. Brown. But as you can see, you can also reach the other colors. Let's try this again. Pink. Magenta. Stop. Please. Cyan. That's not I mean, oh god. Please. Game. Okay, well. It seems like the game is not allowing me to have that color, so I'm going to move on. But as you can see, this distance and this distance is quite equal, which means you can do it. And I prove it to you that you can also reach that one. Yeah, basically, if that would have been the color, I would have reached it. Okay. Going to the last floor for this part, we have Clockworks, which is speed 11 compatible, but only up here on this exact cogwheel. All cogwheels surrounding this one are of different colors and make up the entire color scheme of the floor. Basically, stand in the middle and you should be perfectly fine. As shown. Going to speed 12, this is much more of a multi-location part we need a lot of luck. Once again, you should try and follow the stream, and the stream usually goes here. You can reach only a maximum of 5 colors. Basically, 4 cogwheels and a background color. I go in first person over here, since there are so few colors to pick from. It should be fine. You can also, for instance, stand over here. You have the same amount of colors, or you can stand over here too and reach the same amount of colors. You can do it over here too, and here you have so many different locations we can reach 4 colors. But usually, people tend to stand over here. Oh, some lag, sorry. But yeah, this is a relatively very easy map by being able to reach that few amount of colors. But unfortunately, it can be very luck biased. That will be it for the first half. The second half, F1 to J6, will be shown in part 2. The reason I'm not showing J7 is because this is the easy chains, and I have already shown, as I stated, I've already shown the positions for the easy chains as well. It's speed 11 compatible, you basically go from there. So yeah, I'll see you in part 2 where I will showcase the rest.